Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 73 of the SWW Show. It's me, AJ. Mike's alongside with me, as always.
Test.
It's a little late for that, bud.
Damn. Never mind on this test. We can ignore this testing. Didn't happen.
Cancel out the test.
It's canceled. Fake. It was canceled.
You'd have to say, what is it? Set. Do the Tenet style cancel out an action by doing the opposite action.
Test.
Yeah, it would be set with a T in front of it.
So we talked yesterday. Remember there was snow everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you it was somehow -11 today, it felt like? But most of the snow is gone.
Welcome to science.
It's a confusing science, I got to say. Oh, because it's cold as hell.
Weather science is quite possibly the weirdest science. It doesn't make sense.
Like not even in the slightest.
I mean, it was 30 by you today.
Not with wind chill though.
The wind chill's 19 right now.
I'm telling you, it's cold out there. It's cold as it comes. But anyway, when I get to see that, we can discuss the month at large. Let's get started here. You're in the middle of. Would this be post-Soviet Eastern Europe, or like where were we talking setting-wise? Paint the picture for this first game.
First Stalker. It's okay. So it is post. Well, in the first game, the nuclear reactor at Chernobyl doesn't die. It's kind of the basic thing. So like Pripyat is a destination. Shit happens. That's not the nuclear reactor. And the world gets, thrown into a kind of apocalyptic supernatural thing. So this is set after that. This is technically the third game in the series. And it's at a weird stage because like the military is there as a faction, but like they're using Western weapons as well. It's not just like AKs and stuff like that. You do run into some like AR base. Actually, they're HK 416 base weapons, at least for now. So it's unclear of like, was the Soviet Union a thing?
Oh, I don't know if I realized
kind of the way to approach it. Like, it's a different timeline where if the Soviet Union existed, it has collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Union existed, you are post-Union.
Okay.
But it's not for a failure of the Soviet Union itself. It is the... Let me just pull up the actual series set in an alternate version of present-day Chernobyl. A mysterious second disaster took place in 2006. And then you go after that. So I guess technically, depending on how you want to look at their releases, there's 4 Stalker games. So
this is what I was confused. I knew there was the first. So is this
so there's
2.
Shadow of Chernobyl, there's Clear Sky, and then there's Call of Pripyat, which they were all GSC Game World games. I think a lot of people consider Call of Pripyat to be the first because Stalker 2 is a continuation of Call of Pripyat. So
is there anything I know we kind of talked yesterday, but is there anything else kind of to you that stands out about this game? Kind of like, because it's interesting of like, I think it's interesting like Doves is the one that infamously delayed from the war out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it coming out even is almost surprising.
yeah, I am glad that the game came out. I am not. I'm not having a great time. I'm enjoying it, but it is one of those where it's like, okay, this is kind of a slog, and it's janky, and it's this, and it's that, and you're just like, okay. I'm getting kind of...
It's that Euro jank that we kind of talked about of not perfectly, I'm assuming, executed.
It's Eurojank, but also it's Eurojank on top of a Fallout-like. So there's already the jank of, Fallout-likes to, on the as the base of the game itself. So
Fair enough. Are you going to keep messing with it for a while, or do you think you'll stop?
we were talking about it on a stream recently, and I think I'm close enough, at least going by the guide, I am close enough that I could see the end of it in a reasonable amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether that means it'll actually be like that, I don't know. So
that is fair enough. But yeah, jumping in then, the new one for me here. So it's still mentioned through about 15 games. I think I'm kind of done there. I still think it's a really cool idea, and it's something worth checking out. But after a while, as you can imagine, like at some point, you're just like, these are kind of partial games, or kind of stuff that one jumps full. I picked up Metal Slug Tactics. Are you familiar with this one that came out recently?
I've heard of it. That's about it.
So Metal Slug, people are usually familiar with a very arcadey kind of shooting game. This isn't is using the same art style and those characters, but instead it's what it sounds like, which is like an XCOM-like or a tactics game that we've kind of seen before with grids. Very simple. It's an interesting idea. This game is comically not balanced, of where like it's like tutorial, sure, whatever. It gets super hard, super fast. Where I'm like, I don't think they kind of led through it, or they didn't have the right people kind of testing through it. So that to me is the problem with that one. I think there's really cool going through it, and you can get some cool upgrades, some cool abilities. There's different types of soldiers, as you can imagine. There's like sniper, assault rifle, like kind of with the weapon classes. So it's one of those where it's, I don't know, it's horrible, but it's not this great game, and I think I would skip it personally. Kind of looking back, kind of think of it some more and for people.
Nice.
Yeah. It's kind of where I am there, but let's jump into some of the stuff. Films, there's kind of a few. We've kind of watching some old stuff recently too. Gladiator 2, though. is a film that we saw in the nice, glorious. Well, it's the. Have you had the IMAX? It's the AMC Light or Vision. It's the one that they don't use film. They like project it differently or whatever for better the environment.
No, because I don't go to AMC's.
It's still good. It's you kind of see little things. The thing with this film is, so you've seen, I assume, the first one.
Yeah, years ago.
So that one's kind of notorious for basically everything's practical. This film, when you kind of read about it, you can see the CG elements kind of blowing through it, and it's one where you could tell Ridley Scott at some point she's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I think that's kind of what you kind of heard from stories with cinematographer. I think that kind of shows, but I think otherwise it's a fun film and definitely a film that you probably want to see in theaters if you're going to see it, as you can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, this is as close as we're going to get in a while, it seems, at a truly epic level movie.
It's funny because the last one arguably is Napoleon, like, which would be Ridley Scott also, that we got before this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, and we didn't have any like epics, I feel like, this year in that way.
Not really, but also I think that's partially due to the fact that, you know, like, more and more movies, like, a couple things. One, people just aren't going to movies because they realize they can wait, you know, what, 2 months now and it's out on streaming. So why go to the movies? Two, like, why make a movie for a theater when Amazon is willing to pay, what was it, close to $300 million to make Red One? Right? Was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because it was. It was there for partial, because that was the whole we were making fun of that. Yeah, it was not Netflix.
So, you know, it's like the budgets from streaming services are so inflated because that's the only way that you can make your money right now is to do that. So there's very little drive, if you will, to make epics. So I don't blame them for not wanting to, you know, build these epics anymore. And I will say, like, I hate that Gladiator 2 is going to be considered an epic because that movie looks like trash.
So it's actually, I think, a decent story. I think there's kind of weird jumps out. There's some weird shots, don't get me wrong, but I do think, like, it is a film that, like, it's kind of like Napoleon, where that film has 10,000 problems. But, like, there are shots in that film really cool, or they're instant styling. I think this is another one of those where it's like, they understand the feeling of the era, I think, really well, which I think makes sense with Ridley Scott. Or it's the pop culture feeling there is probably a better way to put it.
Yeah, that's... Also, like, why are we getting a sequel to Gladiator now? Right? Like,
money.
I know, but also, you know, it's been so long since the first one. If you really wanted to capitalize on, like, why, what drive was there from people that were like, you know what, we need a second Gladiator movie?
Hasn't this been in development relatively for like 20 years though too? I feel like it's one of those that like actually someone ended out of development hell.
But still, right? Like, if it took longer, you know, like if this was in development hell, just kill it. Right? Like, if you are this far in and nothing's coming out, right? Like, if it was early this year or even late last year, you know, late 23, I would have been like, look, just put this shit on Netflix or something and
Take the loss, call it a day.
take a loss. So
It's making money though. Like that would have been a bad from a financial point of view.
also, what's even out right now, right? Like,
hey, Moana 2 is apparently killing every record.
There's Moana 2 and there's Gladiator. So
also, what happened that Disney
guess
released
Wicked.
2 animated films this year that like blew up the box office?
yeah.
But anyway.
I mean, if you're an adult and you don't have kids, your options are Wicked, Gladiator 2, Red 1, Venom, Heretic.
Some options in there. It's just the odds of you someone watches films, you've seen half those.
Yeah.
But like abstractly, those are options, to be fair. It's just like the type of person you're talking about has like not already seen the film that's been in theaters 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, okay, if you weren't going to go see Moana 2 in this scenario where you don't have kids, or if you weren't going to go see Wicked because it's a musical, you're not going to see Moana 2.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the same reason. So Gladiator 2 is your next highest ranked movie in the box office.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a Red 1. And it's like, that movie's not great. Somehow it's got a 6.8 on IMDb right now. Which doesn't make sense. So.
We shall see. But yeah, I don't know if you have any stories from your travels down south.
Not really. I mean, saw a lot of hurricane damage, but
So how's that looking, right? So is it as bad? It seems like I haven't heard as much of like where North Carolina you kept hearing like horror stories. I don't think you've heard as much, it feels like, down there of like the extremes of potential damage could have been.
I mean, Anna Marie Island, Bradenton Beach area is basically going to be a write-off, that whole area. A lot of businesses on the barrier islands are probably going to be closed forever now. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places where it's going to take years to even get back open. And do they have that kind of buffer in their finances? So, yeah.
No, that is.
All the vegetation's dead. Sand everywhere. Yeah.
God. It's one of those, we don't live in these areas, so when you hear stories of like places with real natural disasters, it's always like, yeah, how do people live here?
Yeah.
Because we look out of like, we get quote disasters, but like they're not the same.
No.
So, yeah, cool. Let's jump into. I put up top just because I feel like we needed to for both them. Last month we lost both Tony Todd and the actor, and then Quincy Jones, arguably one of the most famous music producers of all time, and then definitely one of the most influential.
Yeah.
And if either of those you had something with.
You know, I didn't have any personal interaction with either. I knew people that worked with them. I mean, obviously, like when you work in the film industry for even a short amount of time, Quincy Jones is always a name that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone had great things to say about him. So it's a tough loss, but also it's one of those where it's kind of to be expected.
91. Yeah, certain point. He composed the original Italian Job.
Yeah.
Just to give context of age.
Yeah.
So, next thing we got here is, I think something that we have been seeing coming, but it's finally happening. Comcast is officially spinning off, basically its cable division. So that includes USA, MSNBC, and all of their different channels on cable. Is there going to be a buyer for this, do we think? Or is it just going to be, this is just the beginning of like them delaying the inevitable of just killing these?
I don't know why they would kill them. Because they still draw. And it wouldn't make sense to kill off, like, why would you kill off USA, right?
Would you just keep tightening their budgets as their ratings keep dropping?
I mean,
because like that's the thing I'm talking about. That's the problem here. Is like we're getting to this point where like every year they're slowly getting worse and worse and worse.
Well, I'll put it this way: you don't need two different NBC spinoffs, an MSNBC and CNBC. I get that MSNBC is owned by, or partially owned by, Microsoft. So maybe they would buy it back or buy it, all of it, but yeah. I get why a channel like E wouldn't exist in a future not too far from now, because I feel like social media and the internet has taken over the need for channels like that. We don't need gossip TV channels anymore because there's 10,000 gossip channels on YouTube and TikTok. So, yeah.
I'm gonna be curious because like stuff like that one, like CNBC, it's interesting because like while I agree with you, there's that extra level now of like businesses use them, and like it becomes this game of, do we start seeing this stuff like CNBC just spin into like only a businessy platform? They care less about the raw viewer account. Like you could see ways to spin some of these, but yeah, I think we're about to see consolidations at a minimum.
Yeah, I don't see with the loss of WWE and USA not having anything. Basically.
USA gets SmackDown. So they're switching. I thought that's what they're doing. Am I crazy?
I'll put it this way.
SmackDown is USA.
So on Variety's site, when you click the USA channel as a tag, there was the article about the spinoff, and then it's been 4 years since then. So there was a story about Hollywood killing cable TV. Then a year before that, there was a story. A year before that. Then a year before that about the Biggest Loser reboot. A year before that being the Suits spinoff.
Which is happening slowly.
No, this was the God, what was the name of the show? It's gonna bug me now because this was the Gina Torres spinoff
Okay.
that happened. I think it was a season or two. But no, there's like a soft reboot of Suits coming. So we'll see with that. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, dude, cable TV is dying on the vine at this point. Why? When NBC Universal can just consolidate their portfolio into a couple cable TV channels and then put everything else on their streaming service, why not?
Yeah, it's kind of like stuff like in other countries are seeing stuff like Disney Channel or these other networks. I'm like, we're just going to start seeing these networks just peel off one by one at this point.
Well, and I mean, the harsh reality is we are going to get our a la carte TV packages. It's just going to be streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to cost 5 times as much.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we're at an interesting spot, I guess is the way that I would put it. I will say though, with I think it was California that passed it, where you have to be able to cancel a service through the method that you signed up. So everybody signed up online. And a lot of these services, you still have to call in to cancel. So just people never do it.
Mm-hmm.
So having that, I think, will propagate the streaming service rotation that people will have.
The streaming services, to be fair, I don't know a single one you have to call.
I don't know if you have to anymore. I think they've all pretty much gone.
Because I'm someone who's like always been like a rotator that way, and I never had to like that one. I've always just been able to go boof.
Yeah. So, I mean, what would be really nice is, you know, we have services like Rocket Money that are out there helping cancel subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
I want a smart version of that that's like, hey, here's when, you know, take for example Stranger Things, right? I don't watch Stranger Things, but that's just an easy example. Sign me up for Netflix for that month and then cancel it so I can watch Stranger Things. Right? Like, put in programs that, you know, big programs that you want to watch, put those in a database and be like, hey, I want to watch this. Sign me up for this service for this month.
Mm-hmm.
Cancel it. Sign me up for another service. Cancel it. Like, you're halfway there with already being able to cancel it through the service. Just build in like a smart calendar. Right. Now, obviously, it would be on the streaming services to allow Rocket Money to do something like that. So, yeah.
My guess is they wouldn't.
No, they probably wouldn't, but whoever figures that out, where you can just have a auto-rotating streaming setup, where it's like, hey, you have a budget of $30 a month for streaming services. What ones do you want? Like, what shows do you want, right? So it's like,
yeah, no, that's the game. The game is, can we do, what was that one that used to be? I used to know the website. It was not streamed. There was like one of those used to, can I stream.it? That's what it was. And like one of those, but like just tied to accounts. Because like, what's interesting is some of the services, it's not like you can't publicly pull the data as easily. Which I've always found interesting why they make it so hard.
They make it that hard because people would find out that they are grossly inflating their numbers. Right, like, perfect example. I was talking to a couple people at work, and we were talking about our Spotify Wraps.
Mm-hmm.
And the one guy goes, "Man, I'd love to see why it decides this." And I'm like, "Well, you'll never see that because as soon as they allow you to see how the sausage is made, you'll realize that it's all inflation, right? Like these numbers are highly inflated."
Do you mean the infamous Twitter view count numbers?
Oh yeah, well, shit like that, or it's like, oh, why is this artist my number one? Like I listened to him for a month. Yes, I listen to him every day, but there's 11 other months where I listen to all these other artists. And like, well, they view it as, a certain, they weigh things differently for Wrapped. And it's like, as soon as they tell people how Wrapped is calculated, people are gonna just post a monthly Wrap. That being said, YouTube actually will do that. YouTube Music does a monthly recap.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah.
Which I actually don't hate that. Like, it's also funny because like it's interesting to me how hard this stuff seems to be on the companies where like functionally this data's there.
Yeah.
Well, like that's why I never understood this whole thing. I'm like, yeah, but they've had this data the whole time. This isn't like they don't have data.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jumping to the next thing. This is an interesting one I want to bring up. So there's a story in Deadline about how John Watts, who was originally Spider-Man director, but just did a film with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, Wolves. The reason I bring this one up is because he's talking about how basically Apple basically pulled from under him the release of this film. And it's basically he pulled the sequel because of it. And I know we've heard stories of like these streaming or these platforms kind of pulling shady stuff. I feel like this is the first time I heard a filmmaker kind of responding, just going, "We're done," and just kind of publicly airing his laundry versus kind of letting the system exist.
Well, this is also the first time where we've had a sequel to a streaming thing like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right, where like a lot of streaming first projects are usually one hits, which isn't that bad, but whatever. The one exception right now is the Knives Out stuff, but it's like that was built on a established IP before Netflix bought it.
Mm-hmm.
So this was kind of the first where a streamer brought out something, promised the director a sequel, rug pulled the theatrical release, and the director's like, "Fuck it, we're not doing the sequel."
And the rug pulling to me is what's interesting. And like, and after that, but it's him feeling shocked because like the problem with Hollywood is like if you respond this way, you're gonna get blackballed. Him being a show director, he just goes, "I don't care." Like that's what's interesting. This whole like kind of broader context there.
I do wonder if he's fine with saying it because it's Apple, right? Like
no one's gonna be hurt the same. It's not like they're the outsider trying. They were Netflix.
Not Hollywood. It's Apple.
Right.
So will Apple care? Apple's $1 trillion+ company.
Like they might care, but does it matter they care even?
Yeah.
That's probably the bigger one.
Well, they probably don't even care because they're like, we're gonna sell a gajillion iPhone 17s. This won't matter.
Right.
It's not gonna affect them.
Oh, that is a fair. And then finally, something that lived, I think. So Amazon shutting down Freevee, which is interesting to me. I actually got that was an Amazon brand, which is and basically just bring everything into Amazon Prime, right? So you might have some free stuff now listed on Amazon Prime, which whatever. This is a good example of why did Amazon own two streaming brands?
Well, Freevee was like, I mean, the idea behind it was you could watch Prime stuff for free.
But there's only certain things, and it was they once had some movies on it. But yeah, but Freevee, like I feel like I started hearing Freevee. The big one was when they picked up Judge Judy. Is like truly when I started hearing people talk about it.
Yeah, so it's like okay, there are a lot of people that don't have Amazon Prime, and Freevee was perfect for them because they could watch Prime Video stuff. Yes, it was going to be, who knows how far, behind. But it allowed you to watch it, and you weren't stuck out in the dry. So, yeah, I mean, you had, the Jury Duty comedy, which was Emmy nominated.
I said people like that one. That was one that like you heard buzz about. Not just liked, but like there seemed like even be viewers back it.
Yeah. Reacher was on Freevee.
Didn't process that was a freebie one until I read that too.
Well, it was on there. It wasn't a freebie.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It's still a Prime Video original. It's just one of those where you could watch it on Freevee.
But Jury Duty, I thought was just a freebie thing. If you look at its branding,
that was a Freevee branded thing. Also, I mean, the writing was on the wall when Prime announced that they were going to have ads in Prime Video. So, or I guess the launch of their ad-free version of Prime Video. So that was going to genuinely be my question. You're talking about why did Amazon have two services? My question was going to be, why did Amazon have two ad-supported services? One of them free and one of them requiring access to Prime.
So. No, that's fair. It's in this broader thing of like it's kind of like how Hulu used to have that free version, I guess too. It's kind of like the same idea. It was almost like the feeder drop.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So yeah. Let's jump in. We have two trailers this month that I thought stood out. We'll start with the one to get off the plate. We had a full-length trailer for Minecraft, which sounds like you don't agree with me. I think this looks. I'm not saying good. This looks more like a kids movie, but like a functional kids movie than I expected it to be. And I think that's the big thing of this one is I go, oh, there's actually some level of a story here. Versus, I don't know what I thought they were going to do, but I didn't think they knew what they thought they were going to do with this, even when we saw the initial teaser trailer.
I'm still not convinced.
Do you think it will make money?
It depends on the budget. Depends on whatever the final budget is, but
let's see. Do we have?
Would it make money at the box office?
Somewhere, it looks like 150.
I think people will go see it. Right, like the Minecraft movie has the potential to be a Frozen-esque success story where if it's successful and kids love it, you will.
You eating them.
It'll be the ultimate success. You know, kids will gladly go and watch this movie a gajillion times because they love it, and parents are going to hate it because they've seen it 1,000 times.
Wait. This is a thing that I forgot, which we need you to appreciate. I understand that the pandemic truly messed up some schedules and delays and all that, okay?
Yeah.
This film was scheduled to be released on May 24th, 2019.
Was there even a cast associated to it?
Yeah, it got delayed from the... I don't even know.
That was before COVID, so...
Okay, no, so...
Something...
Right. Because, like, we're in such a different... Wild. But the other one is the trailer, which I figured that you'd have oozed over. Is we have Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
I'm so ready for it.
Do we truly believe it is the final reckoning, though?
Yeah, I mean, dude, Tom Cruise is sunsetting all of his action franchises right now. Right? Like, he sunsetted Top Gun with Maverick. You know, he's sunsetting Mission Impossible with this. Yeah. It's great to see him kind of going out on top, you know, in terms of it feels like he's the one making the decision to shut this down.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is interesting. Why do we think, like, because, like, is he the only actor in the world who understands when it's his time to go? Like, what is
probably Keanu is pretty good at that. I think a lot of people go, oh, well, they're making a gajillion John Wicks. I'm like, he's admitted that, hey, he doesn't want to be part of John Wick anymore. Like, they killed off his character in 4.
Or did he? Or did they?
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like...
It's enough where it's very purposeful, leave it open in case they ever convince a big enough check, but to close the door from a story point of view.
So...
That's fair, because we're like a couple... It's interesting because I don't know if I processed that the new one coming out was a movie.
Ballerina?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I felt that was a series the whole time.
No, I remembered that Ballerina was going to be the movie, and actually the movie was supposedly going to be coming out before this series, Continental, but that was quickly shot down. So
I'll be curious, because it's also interesting of, can they keep the look with the very varying budgets too? It's one of the bigger question, I guess. That's the age-old TV problem.
Yeah.
And the obviously that will not point off it is Marvel.
Yeah.
We shall see. Light story this month. I didn't catch the follow on this one, but it was interesting to me that there was reports around that NetEase had a big money laundering scheme. It seems like game companies and money laundering go surprisingly hand in hand internationally.
Yeah.
So, hopefully everyone got correct defense attorneys. But that was the big one there. And we had layoffs this month at Elphonics, and BSF closed with the ending of X Defined. Yeah. I kind of brought up to, do you think we're at the tail end of those fun layoffs, or do you think there's going to be more?
At least for 24, yes.
What is your sense going to 25 that you feel?
I have a feeling it's going to be quiet. And at least to start. And then we'll see from there. I mean, I think once we clear fiscal year 24, so April
March.
1st.
Oh, so yeah.
Then I think we'll start seeing a little bit more, but yeah.
And then finally, the games. We only have so many dated, so Indiana Jones Great Circle comes out December 9th. Money and Value 3 on the 10th. Alien Rogue Insurrection, that's the VR game, comes out on December 19th. Phantom Wars Remastered, Jan 10th. Civ 7, Feb 11th. AC Shadows on Valentine's Day. Avowed on Feb 18. Supposedly. Well, actually, that one I feel safer. And then Atomfall on March 27th. So do you think it won't hit it, or what's kind of...
Shadows, I mean, shit. I'll believe it when I'm playing it that it's coming out on the 14th.
February is kind of that month where everything kind of builds up and then gets pushed to April.
Yeah.
So. And then finally, I would say because of the weird month, no movie this month, and instead go find a Christmas film somewhere. Probably your local dying cinema.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all we got. What is the rest of your December looking like, preparing for the big holidays?
Yeah, waiting on shit to get in that I ordered.
I know where I'm at too. There's a lot of just kind of wait and see.
Yeah.
Because like I ordered some, and then it's like some's in here, some's packed, and it's like the annoying part of like, do I pack everything?
Yeah, I'm at the point of it's like, okay. I've pretty much got more or less everything ordered for people that I would want to have ordered. Just waiting for that shit to come in. Come in. I've got let's see, how many do I have that are on their way? That one's still on its way. This one is on its delay, or delayed on its way, arriving tomorrow. So then that's my dad's stuff done. Then my brother's fiance stuff comes in on I believe it's Friday as well. Maybe. Hopefully. FedEx. Okay, still says Friday.
Like maybe.
See? Yeah, I had one that got dropped off today, but that was for me. It wasn't a Cyber Monday deal that it was had ordered. So my brother's done, my dad's pretty much done, my mom I still need to get something for, and my brother's fiance is done. So now it's cards and getting something for my brother and his fiance's dog. And then getting shit packed, you know.
Do you not get a card for the dog?
No.
I know, could be a smart dog.
No, I don't do that shit.
Yeah, but then I guess Rabbit dying over here. Well, that'll be it. We'll say happy Christmas and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in New Year.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Goodbye.